Robin.
You're listening to Opie and Anthony. On the virus. Sirius XM.
Gary Busey.
Hey, Sam, how are you?
How are you, Gary?
Jim?
Yes, good to see you, buddy.
You have a great memory.
Yeah, I do. That's what happens when you have massive brain surgery and go to the other side after you die.
Did you go to the other side?
Yeah.
What did it look like?
It's like explaining an orgasm to a 10-year-old.
Amazing. Just
Amazing.
undescribable.
Beyond amazing.
Wow.
Yeah,
So
it's just a dynamic.
Did you know where you were when it was happening or no?
What?
Did you know you had gone over when you went over?
Oh, yeah. I was only about a foot long and a quarter of an inch wide, and that's the size of your soul. And your soul is housed in the column of your spine.
That's where you're... So, explain to me, do you see your soul? Are you your soul? I don't understand.
You're everything you are, but you don't see it, you feel it. And I was surrounded by angels that looked like almost the size of a volleyball. And they were gold, amber, light, white light, and they were moving like they were breathing. And the love and the trust and the truth of an angel is so powerful. You can't look the light right in the eye without going to your prone position on the floor with love and respect. And there were 3 lights in front of me. And the light on the left was abalone and mother of pearl colored. Mm-hmm. And out of that light came an androgynous voice that spoke to me in thought.
In thought?
In thought, yeah. It said, I can't impersonate it. Oh, my gosh. It said, you're in a beautiful place. You are going in the right direction. But for the responsibility you have coming up in you, you must look for help in the spiritual realm. You may come with us now, or you can return to your body and continue your destiny.
You had the choice.
It's your choice.
Wow.
And bam, I came back immediately, but I was still recovering from brain surgery. And a friend of mine, Joan Culpepper, God bless her, said, go see the movie Ghost with Patrick Swayze and Demi Moore. I said, why? She said, an essence will come from your subconscious to your conscious, and you realize you are not in a dream. So I saw the movie. When I saw the white lights around Patrick, and I saw at the end of the movie, I started crying from down deep.
Because it matched what you saw.
It told me where I was.
Right.
My friend said, are you okay? And I said, yeah, I'm really okay, because I have been there.
Wow.
Were you tempted? Sorry, Sam.
No, go ahead.
Were you tempted to go? Because a lot of people say they want to go over, but they're sent back.
No, what you do, you react only to the truth. And the truth you react to instantly without thought.
So whatever is supposed to happen, whatever is right in that moment, either going there or coming back, you make the right decision.
They told me I had a choice.
And you don't think this is... Because people say that sometimes experiences like this are chemical reactions from the drugs that you're under.
No, I was on no drugs. I went off a Harley Davidson going 40 miles an hour without a helmet and hit on a curb at Washington Robertson Boulevard in Culver City, California, and split my skull all the way to the top and knocked a hole in my skull about as big as a 50-cent piece.
And that's where you started, and immediately you're out, and that's where you started seeing this stuff.
My memories would not consolidate for 4.5 weeks because the right side of my skull and brain was dormant.
Wow. And so now, is your thought process different than it was before? Like, are you aware of, like, my brain is functioning differently than it was before?
Oh, it's functioning differently.
Yeah.
It's been altered to a great place. Like right now, I forgot everyone's names and I don't know where I am.
And
No, I'm kidding.
That's it, Gary. We need to help
funny
you.
now.
Yeah.
Oh, no. It's magic.
Mm-hmm.
It's a miracle and a blessing after you've been there and come back. And you have knowledge of things that haven't happened yet. You have feelings of things that are coming in a prophetic way. And, a deja vu is when your mind picks up something faster than your brain.
Right.
And you feel like you've been there before. You've seen this before. You've lived this before. What I had after brain surgery was a vuja day. And that was, I would see things, and although I knew I had seen it first, it was like the first time I was seeing it.
So, has it affected your memory at all? Because when you act, you have to memorize roles and parts and all these things. And has it affected you negatively that way, or has it kind of helped?
No negativity at all, I'm happy to say.
What about the way you're shown on Celebrity Apprentice and reality shows you've been on? You're the star of the show, but a lot of it is, they kind of make a joke out of a lot of what you do.
Oh, they tried to, but it doesn't work for
You don't
them.
think so?
Oh, no, I know so.
Yeah. How do you feel? Do you watch the show?
Yeah.
After you've done it, you go back and watch the episode.
Oh, yeah.
How do you feel about the way it is shown on TV as opposed to what you lived through?
I like it. There were some things edited out of last night's show.
Like what?
And last night I was fired. Oh, when Penn Jillette said, the mechanical dog will be great. It'll be comedy chaos, and then we'll go back to LG phone.
Uh-huh.
I said, okay.
But because in the show, I don't know if you saw it, Jim, but they had to make videos promoting LG, the
LG,
phone company.
Right.
And
I was doing that, but I had no support from Penn or Lisa. They abandoned me. And Ivanka, Donald's daughter, busted him on the show last night, and so did Donald Trump.
Not helping you.
Not helping me at all. They abandoned me.
Donald loves you. And because I talked to the people who've been on the show.
I bet you have.
And it's much to their chagrin because, I talk to them and they go on and you see it. They're in the boardroom and Donald goes, who's the weakest player? Every week he says that. And they always say, well, it was Gary because they want to get Gary fired. But every time Donald goes, well, Gary's kind of a genius, isn't he? And they know he's not going to.
Gary Busey's a different kind of man.
That's what he says.
Yeah.
Why does Donald love you so much?
I pay him.
Is that it? Yeah,
No. It's just a connection of truth, honesty, sincerity, and stamina. That was last night he said, Gary, from when you were on here 2 years ago, you have improved so much. You're solid as a rock.
Yeah.
Because I wouldn't let anybody get on top of me.
Right.
There's a real fascination with Gary Busey. And people who would Gary Busey? It's like you become this larger-than-life thing. It's more than the acting, where it was always the acting, and then something happened, and it's just people like you for who you are.
That's me. I'm surrounded by angels, and those angels are giving me information to say. I'm not thinking when I say a lot of that stuff. Hi.
Did you think anybody on the show was specifically dismissive of you? Because people tend to be. Gary, he's doing the Gary Busey stuff again.
Oh, Penn and Lisa were. They wanted to get me out of there.
So they were thinking, okay, we know we're going to lose this thing. Let's just get Gary out.
Yeah.
And that's what happened.
Yeah, well, wait till you see the end.
Oh, my God.
You are going to be pleasantly surprised.
Yeah? Were you pleasantly surprised?
I felt like a virgin on prom night.
Oh, my God.
It was wonderful.
That's a
good thing, really good thing.
As long as it's successful for him.
Yeah.
Some virgins on prom night go home alone.
Exactly. They're walking.
No, they don't go home alone.
No?
They don't go home alone.
Do you?
They go home after shampooing somebody's puppy. They didn't know it.
I don't know what that means, Gary.
Figure it out. It'll
Okay.
come to you later.
All right.
Do you like the way things are now, like with the reality shows and all that stuff, or did you kind of do you miss your anonymity or your privacy in your personal life?
Oh no, I lost that in 1979 after the Buddy Holly story. But that doesn't bother me at all. I refuse to be bothered. And reality shows, that's a joke. They're not reality shows.
Right.
I mean, you're given a task, you're given a way to go, you're given a process to go through. You go through it and you make the best.
You know, one of my favorite things you ever did was Jodie Foster at Carney.
Oh, yeah.
Is one of my greatest memories of you is playing that.
Hey, I'm high and I'm dry. I'm looking for some bozo to put me in the water.
Yeah.
Jodie Foster and Robbie Robertson.
Yeah, you played how would you describe it? You were the guy with the dunk tank clown.
Yeah, it's called a bozo. And they come out, they hide from the audience because the audience wants to come beat the you-know-what out of them. And so I'd put on makeup and go ahead and sneak in the bozo tank and get knocked in the water once. I'd come out of the water and set the seat up and be right back on the seat and say, I didn't fall in, I just needed a drink.
Yeah.
It was pretty good. It was a lot of fun.
Where did the Buseyisms, when did they start? Where did they come from?
10 years ago, I was dealing with my past.
Yeah.
And I couldn't get over the way I'd been betrayed and what I let happen to me.
What do you mean?
I stopped and said,
Yeah.
said, my gosh, what I'm doing, I'm living in the past. So I said, where am I now? Now, I'm in the now. So the first Buseyism was NOW, now, which stands for no other way.
Because that's the way you have to live.
Yeah.
In the now.
The moment of now is the most precious moment you have living on earth.
So
and everything you see in your life is a reflection of yourself. So reflect a good image of yourself to what you see, and you will be floating on air. And the word float FLOAT stands for Feeling Light on Air Today.
Wow. So are you sitting at home writing these, or are you sometimes spur of the moment with this stuff? Who do you need? We'll get your person?
Michael Conley, yeah, he should be in here.
Yeah, where's Michael? Roland, could you go get Michael Conley? He's coming in. He was just in the other room.
I want to show you Buseyism that...
Do you are these all written, or do you ever...
No, they're written.
Off the top of the head.
Book.
Yeah.
And
he's coming in right now.
I have a great agent at ICM that's shopping the book, and there are a lot of interested people.
And it's just a book about Buseyisms, of all the words and the meanings.
And then take the letters to spell the word.
Okay.
And create a definition. This is FART, fart, and that stands for feeling a rectal transmission. That's
right.
And that's a bodily function which cannot be denied.
And there's a picture. Yeah. Describe the photo, too. There's a photo of an outhouse with some type of a dust, which is probably a fart coming through the roof.
Here you have fun.
Yeah.
FUN, finally understanding nothing.
When you can let go.
And the note is, GaryBusey.com, you guys out there? If you said request for a Buseyism to GaryBusey.com and ask for an autograph, we'll get it to you.
Really?
Truth. Taking real understanding to heart. And the note is, the truth requires no questions.
Because you're understanding, you get it.
Peace.
Right.
PEACE. Purely experiencing a comfortable energy. Peace is settling and kind.
And it does. It defines these words.
Faith.
Yeah.
Fantastic adventures in trusting Him. Replace the word fear with faith, and no weapon used against you will prosper.
Have you changed any of these? Have you had one that you liked and then rethought it and went, you know what, I kind of like this new definition better, and changed it? Well, the original has always been
That's something about my out-of-body experience. This comes to me from angelic interventions. My angels are very attached to me, and I am to them. And I pray to them every day.
They've stayed with you the whole time.
Everybody has angels.
Were you a religious guy before?
Help, guidance, protection, and speaking through you, they will do that.
Were you a religious guy before the accident?
My mother and father, when I was a young boy in Tulsa, Oklahoma, started me going to the Christian church. And the main thing that I did Celebrity Apprentice for was Kawasaki disease, children's Kawasaki disease, which happens for children between 5 months and 5 years old. And it's no lab. There's no lab that can figure it out. And the symptoms are puffy lips, a strawberry-colored tongue, high fever for over 5 days, a rash, and conjunctivitis. And when your daughter has that, a fever for 4 days, take them right to the doctor and say, check for Kawasaki disease. And the BuseyFoundation.org is where we're receiving donations from people for recovery and research on Kawasaki disease, and all your donations are tax deductible.
Is it deadly?
Yeah. If you don't get it in time, the heart can have palpitations and go crazy, and debilitating life and or death.
And that's BuseyFoundation.org.
.org, yeah. Send a donation, and you will have a legacy of healing children that you can't get anywhere else.
Are there things about yourself, because you're obviously you're charity oriented, you care about people. Are there things about you that are out there that bother you, this misconception about you, or that people think that you know is inaccurate, that's kind of irritating?
Well, yeah, the reputation of still being on drugs, and I haven't been on drugs in 18 years. And that was cocaine. I OD'd on cocaine May the 3rd, 1995. But that is no more. And I don't take things personally that people say about me negative.
You don't?
No, don't do that. That'll waste your energy. It's wasted time. It's wasted effort to write something that doesn't have to be righted because it's already right.
Did you have any experiences when you overdosed on cocaine?
Yeah, they gave me a drug that paralyzed my body and had me in the on the table in the form of a Christian cross. And there's a going on. That was my breath breathing. A tube they had in my throat about as big as an exhaust pipe. And I came back from that and went to detox and gone. That was it. That's a part of the devil you don't want to dance with, is drugs and alcohol.
And was that
methamphetamine and crank and crack and book and dick, whatever they're calling them now.
But was that the moment of just being like the scariness of being, your body's paralyzed from this drug? I just never want to be back.
Going.
You did?
Yeah, but I wasn't.
What did they give you? Did they give you like succinylcholine or something like that to totally paralyze your body?
Did they sexualize my colon? No. Where are you from? Come on, Jim.
That's what I would have done.
You better show me your license. No, I don't know what they gave me. What they gave me worked.
When you're on reality TV and you start watching it back, do you take lessons away from that? Do you start looking at yourself differently, as if to say, oh, I didn't know that was how I was, being perceived?
Oh, no. I'm right on the money with my truth.
You're very self-aware, you find yourself.
Yeah.
And so when you're watching, whether it's Celebrity Rehab, Celebrity Apprentice, and somebody's saying, well, Gary's just being Gary, when it's happening that's what they're thinking.
Yeah, it doesn't matter to me. I don't take it personally, and I am what I am in a truthful, unfiltered, not self-conscious, no low self-esteem. I'm just being my truth. And the reason we're on earth living this life is to find the truth of ourselves. And when you find the truth of yourself, you become your best friend without warning. And then everything is just beautiful, and God bless everyone.
Isn't it difficult for most working actors to be kind of true to themselves all the time because of the politics involved in show business?
Well, there's all kinds of temptations and serious confrontations and issues of insanity that come with art. But that's what you get when you buy that dinner. You got to be true to yourself and be on the line of truthful responsibility. You must always take advantage of your responsibilities and consider other people's feelings first.
You do that.
And start every conversation with a compliment.
By the way, I did mean to tell you look great today.
Well, thanks. Did you get the check?
And you were saying something. Sam didn't mean to rudely interrupt you before, but you were making a point. You said something about betrayal, and you were going to ask about that. Like somebody had betrayal when you were talking about the Buseyisms, and I was kind of wondering how you were betrayed.
Well, that comes with the personal life factor that I made a bad choice on. There's been some relationships I've been in that turned out to be betrayed. It's all the lessons in life. You go through life making lessons, taking lessons, understanding them, following them. And the word failing, F-A-I-L-I-N-G, stands for finding an important lesson, inviting needed growth.
Wow.
So in truth, you don't fail. You just find a better way to do it. When you look at it that way, you're above the radar. You're so far above the radar, they don't know where you're coming from.
So do you look at that accident as a weird blessing then, because it opens you up?
Absolutely.
But do you think now more than before? Do you think you're easier for somebody to kind of take advantage of now because you have more of a goodwill? You know what I mean?
Say that again?
Do you think that now, since the accident, you come out, you have much more of a goodwill, you're much more truthful to yourself? Do you think that makes you easier for somebody to come and take advantage of your good nature?
No.
Because you're too keen and aware on what's going on.
See what's coming.
Right. And you kind of know. So you know when you're doing these shows which ones are the bad apples.
You can feel it in their insecurity. Mm-hmm. And that's what you saw last night with Lisa and Penn. Insecurity and fear. When Ivanka and Donald Trump turned on him.
Wow. And they just started attacking.
What?
And they just started attacking, I said. Because they you get cornered.
They attacked me. They ignored me. They cut me out. They wouldn't help me. They wouldn't say anything. The things you heard Penn say in the show last night, it was a private interview. He didn't come to me with any advice,
right,
or any power or any strength.
Mm-hmm.
No, he abused himself, and so did Lisa, by not following through with what the true course of a task is, which is teamwork. Teamwork. All you need is teamwork.
You still got the music in your soul.
The word team, T-E-A-M,
Uh-huh.
that stands for together, everyone achieves more.
And that's true. But it becomes difficult because people want the credit, especially when you're talking about, impressing Donald Trump.
Well, I've taken the word difficult out of my vocabulary. Nothing is difficult for this cowboy.
No, I guess not.
Now, will you hold a resentment against people like a Pan or Lisa who ignored you? Like, say the show ends and you see them.
No, I love everybody. I said that. I love them. I said it last night. I love them both. I love everyone.
Yeah. Were you happy to go home?
I didn't go home.
What happened?
Well, you'll see when you watch the show.
Oh, now we got another little tease. Are you coming back? There's what? I guess there's 5 weeks left.
Am I coming back?
Yeah.
You'll have to watch and see.
We definitely will.
What do you like to do when you're not acting, and like what do you do when you're totally in your downtime and you know there's no cameras around? What do you enjoy?
There's writing I do, and there's I'm recording now. I'm recording a CD with some of Buddy Holly's songs no one's heard before, and some that were in the movie. And take a Beatles song, a band song, and a Beach Boys song. Those are my favorite groups ever in the world. Yeah, that's what I'm doing now. Music is the highest art form of them all. And Steven Spielberg proved that at the end of Close Encounters of the Third Kind. Bom, 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 bom.
Yeah.
That is the intergalactic communication value. Music, sonic waves, pitches we can't even hear on Earth.
Yeah. Go ahead.
I would say, do you think that, like, when you portray a guy like Buddy Holly, who's such a legendary figure, and you look back on it, like, do you think, like, if he was alive and he saw the way I portrayed him, he would be very happy with what I did?
I know he was happy because he was singing through me in the movie. I didn't realize that till the movie was over. When I came home on December 30th, the day the movie wrapped in 78, I felt a great spirit of enthusiasm and genius had left me. That was Holly.
Huh.
And because they didn't lip sync his stuff over, like they didn't have like impose his stuff over you.
Oh no, that was me singing. I was singing and playing.
Was that always the intention, or was that something that just kind of happened during the course?
That was the intention of the people who did the movie. People from Philadelphia. Steve Rash directed it from Sulphur Springs, Texas. And boy, that union that we had was angelic. Stephen Rash and I.
Yeah, it's just one of those that was kind of like the career launching role, really. It seems like that was the one that kind of set you on the...
yeah, it was.
Had you done Carney before that, or was that after?
After.
Okay.
How was meeting Mike Tyson out here? We saw you out in the hallway.
You and your what?
Meeting Mike Tyson out here. We saw you out in the hallway snapping photos.
Meeting your
Mike
fiance?
No, you've never met my fiance.
No, a lot of people have.
Are you engaged to Mike?
I'm not engaged to Mike Tyson. I would love to be. He's a charismatic guy, but
yeah, we're old buddies.
Are you?
Yeah.
How'd you meet him?
Long ago at Warner Brothers. Mm-hmm. We were there for a publicity deal, and Michael and I were taking a picture, and standing between us was Bugs Bunny. And Michael said to me, "Gary, when you went down that motorcycle, we were praying for you. We stopped boxing and got on our knees and prayed for you." And I said, "Thank you, Mike.
That has to feel
God
good.
bless you."
Yeah. He's another guy, though, like you, kind of has gone on this spiritual journey, and the Mike Tyson that we see now is very different from the one many years ago.
Welcome to Earth.
Yeah, is that what it was? Yeah. It's called a reality check,
That's my motto for life. Welcome to Earth.
You had a weird situation a couple weeks ago on Celebrity Apprentice. It made me laugh, and I hope you don't take offense to that, but when you were talking to the Board of Tourism from South Africa,
yeah,
you kept mentioning that you had heard murders when you were in Johannesburg.
I went to Johannesburg, South Africa to make a movie, and I shouldn't have said that, but that was my reality to South Africa. But I moved from Johannesburg 20 miles away to Sandton City. And it's a beautiful country with beautiful people and beautiful art. Worked with the Zulu and the Swahili warriors and learned how to kill lions with a short spear. So be careful when you come at me growling. I'll get you.
So you learn how to throw them or actually kill them while
you
you're
don't throw them. You get down.
Okay, he's demonstrating.
Get down like this.
Uh-huh.
With the spear's about that long.
Yeah.
And when the lion jumps, you go, bam, right here.
You have to get him in the throat while he's jumping at you?
Absolutely.
So you make yourself almost a prey. You make yourself potential prey for the lion.
It's called bait.
Yeah, but then if you don't do the stick thing right, he gets the bait, doesn't he?
You might be dancing with a lion.
Yeah.
And you will not be leading.
Yeah, what if your stick breaks? That would be my fear, that the weight of the lion would just snap the stick.
Well, you got to use your force of your shoulders and your arms and your legs, and I like touching you.
It feels I'm very touchable. People tell me this something.
You are.
Something mushy about me that just makes people want to
You're
see
like
if I'm
a little sexual sponge.
Is that the first time you've been described as?
It certainly is, and there's no one I would rather have say it than Gary Busey to call me. We met many years ago, very briefly. You came to a show I was opening for Dice Clay in New Jersey.
Oh, yeah.
And you came to the show.
At the Rotten Room or something like
Rascals.
that.
It was called Rascals.
Yeah, Rascals. There.
Are you a comedy fan?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, my gosh.
Who are some of your comics that you're into?
Huh?
Who are some of the comedians that you like?
I like them all.
Yeah.
Excuse me.
Well, listen, what I appreciate about Gary is that it's the same thing he was talking about with the South African border tour. That's the truth that comes out. Maybe he will realize at some point that...
What now? Say that again.
What I like about you...
Oh, good.
...is that at some point you'll realize, maybe mentioning to the Johannesburg people that you had seen murders there was not the right thing to say at the time, but in that moment, that's what you associated with Johannesburg. You saw Jim over there, and what did you associate with him? Being a sexual sponge. You know what I mean? You say...
Look at this guy.
What the truth is.
We need to get some shirts that say sexual sponge.
Would you do
like
that? Maybe
sexual sponge.
Yeah, sexual sponge across the front.
Maybe a new Twitter handle or something.
I kind of like that.
There's a lot of things that can happen.
I think it'd be good. Sexual sponge. Twitter's this.
And you're just Gary Busey on Twitter. Are you the real Gary Busey? Because I've seen a lot of fake
That's
Gary Busey.
It says the Gary Busey.
The Gary Busey on Twitter.
Yeah, follow me, man. I got some funny things to say without conscience.
And you do
sure.
your own thing. You do your own Twitter as opposed to a lot of celebrities who don't do their own Twitter at all.
Oh, yeah, I do my own thing constantly and consistently and reverently and good.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think there's any doubt about that. I don't think Gary would allow somebody to send something out to the internet that said it was under his name.
I got a question for you.
Yes.
What do you get when you cross a Raggedy Ann doll
Right.
with a Pillsbury Doughboy?
What's that?
You get a little short, fat, ugly redhead with a yeast infection.
Well, Gary, on that note, we're out of time.
I know how to get out of this shit.
So keep watching Celebrity Apprentice, right? Because
Yeah, keep watching it because you'll have fun next week. Even though I'm not on the show, you'll have fun seeing the others scramble, sink, and drown.
Gary Busey, thank you so much. We'll talk to you again soon, hopefully.
God bless New York. I love it. Gary Busey's a different kind of man. That's me. I'm surrounded by angels. Those angels are giving me information to say. They go home after shampooing somebody's puppy, but they didn't know it. And they were gold, white light, and they were moving like they were breathing. And out of that light came an androgynous voice that spoke to me in thought. It said, "You're in a beautiful place. You are going in the right direction. You may come with us now, or you can return to your body and learn how to kill lions with a short spear. But for the responsibility you have coming up in you, you must look for help in the spiritual realm." I'm recording a CD with some of Buddy Holly's songs no one's heard before. It's wasted time, it's wasted effort to write something that doesn't have to be righted because it's already right. Nothing is difficult for this cowboy.
Hey, I'm high and I'm dry. I'm looking for some bozo to put me in the water.
Bum, 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 bum. That is the intergalactic communication value. Oh yeah, I was only about a foot long and 1/4 of an inch wide. And that's the size of your soul. And your soul is housed in the column of your spine. It's like explaining an orgasm to a 10-year-old. So be careful when you come at me growling. I'll get you. And you will be floating on air. And the word float, F-L-O-A-T, stands for feeling light on air today. It's your choice. Oh, I'm right on the money with my truth. That's what you get when you buy that dinner. Figure it out. It'll come to you later.
Tell him, Fred.
The Virus. Sirius XM. This is the Opie and Anthony Show.